I used to work for a college, and the people on the team were a mixture of males and females, but there was a lady, she was heterosexual, and we used to work together on the same team. And I was out on this job, meaning I was openly lesbian. She identified as heterosexual, and there was another young lady that was on our team that identified as bisexual. Me, I was openly lesbian. The bisexual lady, she was actually closeted. She wasn't out, not just at work, but just in her own personal life. But she disclosed to me that she identified as bisexual. And she was close friends with the other lady on the job who was heterosexual. And they all was aware that I was a lesbian. And there was a time when we were without a manager on the team. And when a new manager was hired as our, they usually call them directors when you're in the field of education, but he was our new director on the team. And all the women on the floor, even the ladies on my team at the time, they just had the biggest crush on this man. And I, of course, would hear him talk about him, but I didn't have those same feelings or thoughts as them. And I remember the young lady who identifies as heterosexual. One day she came to me, I was at my desk, and she said, "Why don't you ever talk about," let's just say his name is Bob. And she asked me that, and I looked at her kind of like, why is she asking me this question? Because she knew that I identified as lesbian. And at the time I had a girlfriend, and she had even seen pictures of my girlfriend, and I would talk about my girlfriend every once in a while. So I just didn't understand why she was asking me this question. And she was really waiting for me to respond. So I said, "What do you mean, why do I not talk about Bob?" And she said, "Well, don't you think he's cute? I mean, you never say he's cute. You never flirt with him. And when we talk about him amongst the other girls, you're just quiet." And I said, "Well, because I'm gay and I have a girlfriend." And she looked at me like puzzled, like she was looking as if she still didn't get it. And she was still sitting there. And then she said, "Well, don't you still think he looks good?" And I responded, "I think he is an attractive man, but I am not attracted to him because I am a lesbian." And she still looked confused. And I had to get back to my work. So I said, "Well, I'm going to finish this project." And that was her cue to get up and leave. But it was that scenario that I remember. And there's been other situations I experienced this with heterosexual women. And they are aware that I identify as a lesbian, but somewhere there's a blockage in their mind. They cannot process that I can exclusively only be interested in women. For some reason, heterosexual women who operate the way she does, and I'm not saying all heterosexual women are this way because they're not. There's heterosexual women who are open-minded and they understand that women are not all the same and that we do have different sexual orientations. But specifically, this woman that I used to work with, she was not able to process that I was really a lesbian. And we didn't have a problem working together as a team. There was no issues with our work relationship. And I learned a lot by being out on that particular job, just by how people think. And it was really, really interesting. But women who operate in a mindset where they believe that all women are the same and all women think the same and all women are into men, they are very one-track minded. And it's really not possible for you to change a person's mind. They have to do a little bit of inner work to get to the point where they're able to understand other people. And that's pretty much what you call self-awareness. But I wanted to just provide a little bit of detail about how a lesbian thinks when it comes to her attractions in women. And our attractions as lesbians is multidimensional. It's physical attraction, but there's also mental and emotional attraction, as well as sexual attraction and spiritual attraction. And this is how lesbians think and feel about women exclusively. Whereas heterosexual women, they are the opposite of lesbians. Heterosexual women have an exclusive attraction to men. And their attractions are multidimensional as well. Mental, emotional, physical, sexual, and spiritual attraction for men. So that's just the truth about sexual orientation between women. And because we live in a heteronormative society and a patriarchal society, as well as a society that is very sexist, and the majority of people identify as heterosexual, I am not surprised when I encounter women such as the lady I used to work with, who was not able to fathom that I could exclusively be attracted to women and that I did not have any desire for a man. And the reason why I'm not surprised that she was that way, or that not just her specifically, just any woman who thinks like her, who identifies as heterosexual, is because, for one, heterosexual women, their life revolves around heterosexual men. And they are very much so intertwined with heterosexual men that they take on almost the personality and the mindset of a man. And they even look like their male partners. And I don't mean they physically look masculine, but because you are around a person all of the time And even it gets deeper when you're sexually involved with the person, you exchange energy and you take on the appearance. If you've ever seen couples who have been together for a long period of time, they begin to look like their mate. So if they physically begin to resemble their mate, then they absolutely take on the same mindset. And this is a big reason why heterosexual women don't, and let me say not all heterosexual women, but the majority of heterosexual women, they don't understand how a woman cannot be emotionally and sexually attracted to men. And heterosexual men are the same way. They are very one-track minded. They believe that all women desire a man emotionally and sexually, but that is a lie. It is not the truth. And there is a huge societal issue, and it's called lesbian erasure, which is the deliberate and or unconscious attempt to erase the existence of homosexual females. Lesbian erasure is very real, and people are very dismissive about lesbian women in a world where men are the leaders of the world. They're also, as heterosexual males, favored or desired by heterosexual women. And so their mindset is, in a sense, what they pedestalize. So they don't really accept or acknowledge lesbian sexuality. But we acknowledge ourselves as lesbians and we know who we are. And I think it's beneficial for me to address the intricate details about how lesbian women view women, and specifically their partners who they are involved in romantic and or sexual relationships with, as opposed to heterosexual women who are in relationships with men and how they view men. The way we think as lesbians is very different from the way heterosexual women think. And this video may be able to help really just anyone to be able to better understand lesbianism, if they're willing to understand, of course. But I will proceed with going into a little bit of detail about this video. And the title, as you can see, is Lesbians Like the Opposite of What Heterosexual Women Like in a Partner. My name is Giselle Wallace. I am a lesbian life coach and author. I do provide my lesbian perspective here on my YouTube channel. And if you are interested, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. So I remember showing a heterosexual woman, it was a magazine photo of a lady who was in fitness. She was very toned. She actually had a six pack, and she was holding some dumbbells and was posing, standing up. And she had on an outfit that it was like boy shorts and just a tank. It wasn't a, it was like a tank top bra. And so you saw, of course, her midriff and her legs and her arms, which accentuated her very toned, muscular shape. And I was showing this magazine picture to a heterosexual woman because I thought that she put in a lot of work, shows a lot of dedication. It had nothing to do with me being necessarily physically attracted to this woman, but I was sharing this photo with her because me and this particular straight woman were interested in fitness, for example, and staying healthy. And I was just showing her, I said, wow, look at her definition. You can tell that she is dedicated. And that was the gist of my statement. And the heterosexual woman responded and she said, ew, she is too muscular. No woman should be muscular. I think that is so unattractive for a woman to be muscular. Only a man should have muscles and a six pack because that's what I like in a man. And that was her statement. And of course, that let me know that she started thinking about physical attraction, as well as the difference in the genders, a male and a female, and what she thought was attractive in a man. And it also revealed to me that she did not find women physically attractive, especially if they were toned or muscular in appearance, but she was attracted to a toned, muscular man. And she also, in her statement, expressed that she doesn't think that women should be toned or muscular. Now, as I stated, I wasn't looking at this picture in a way where I was physically attracted to this woman or expressing any type of sexual interest. My mind was specifically focused on her work ethic as far as fitness and how she was very much so in shape. You know, it was pretty much a compliment, admiring her physique. And so situations like that help me to understand how people observe and think about males or females and what they're attracted to and what they're not attracted to. So just to break this situation down, say hypothetically, I was dating this woman that was in this magazine photo. That would mean that I at least am attracted to her in some form or fashion. It can be physical attraction. It could be emotional, mental, sexual, spiritual. These multidimensional reasons that I would have for being attracted to this woman. And hypothetically, the woman who was the heterosexual woman who I showed the photo to, who she expressed how she thought about the woman in the photo and how she thought about men and what she liked in a man. Say hypothetically, she met me in person with my lesbian partner who had the same physique as this woman in this magazine picture, had on the same attire. Maybe we're all at the gym because, like I say, we were both interested in in fitness and health lifestyle topics. So I would be as a lesbian woman with this other woman who was a lesbian. And me, the way I view the woman, I would find her physically attractive because she's a woman and she's in shape, and it lets me know a little bit more about how she thinks and feels about herself. She takes care of her physique. She has a concern about her health and her body. So that's attractive to me. We both are interested in fitness, so we have that in common. I can learn a lot from her because she obviously knows what she's doing. But what about me observing a man, and this man, he may be in the gym, and I can see visibly that this man works out. He's toned, he's muscular, and I see him, he may be shirtless, and he may only have on some gym shorts. And he actually walks up to the heterosexual woman, and they are actually in a relationship together. So the visual is we're in the gym. I'm a lesbian identified woman, and I'm with my lesbian identified partner who is very toned and in shape. And then we have the heterosexual woman with her heterosexual male partner. And we start a conversation about sexual orientation. And the dialogue is very direct, very honest, very candid, and very clear. And the heterosexual woman says, I think only a man should be muscular. I don't think a woman should be muscular. Now, mind you, the woman is not a bodybuilder. She's just toned and she has muscle tone. Kind of like maybe a woman that you see who is in track, track and field. Women who are in track and field are very toned, and they have muscle dimension. So say like her physique is similar to that, not a bodybuilder tone. And so she's opposed to a woman having a muscular physique like a man. Well, that is her own personal belief. But me, I don't think there's an issue with a woman being toned or muscular. And I don't think that she should not be toned or muscular just because she's a woman. To me, that's a very sexist view. And then for the heterosexual woman, when she says, I like my man to be muscular, and he's very muscular. So you see her male partner, and he's very muscular, very obviously more muscle than a woman, because men, they have completely different physical bodies from a woman, and they have more muscle tone. Men have hormones that allow their muscle to be more advanced and bigger than a woman's. So she's attracted to a man's six-pack and his muscles. And I can understand that she's attracted to this man's muscular physique because most heterosexual women like to feel protected with a man. And most heterosexual women do not think that a woman can protect them. So, for example, her saying that to me, because this actually was a real conversation, but it wasn't the scenario that the hypothetical scenario that I'm explaining. But the real scenario was, I was showing her a magazine. It was a fitness magazine. I'm showing her this picture of this woman. She said that I don't think women should have muscles. So imagine a woman. Most women are not, muscled up. They don't have muscles, right? So that's how she thinks all women should be. And with that mindset, she doesn't think that a woman should be, I guess, physically strong. And in that regards, most women don't think that another woman can protect them. And these are generally heterosexual women that think this way. My thinking would be, yes, a woman can protect me. Why can't she? Because just because we're women does not mean that we're helpless, that we're damsels in distress. And I've noticed most heterosexual women, they like to portray or pretend to be damsels in distress, and they have this superhero of a man to come rescue them. And that's their fantasy. And they like to play it out in real life with men. Whereas me, my thinking is, I don't need a man to come and rescue me. And I don't view myself as a damsel in distress. I can take care of myself, and I can also be there for my woman. If she needs me, if I feel like she's in harm's way, I can protect her in many ways. Women have intuition. And I'm also a spiritual person. I have a direct connection with the Most High God. I also can be a woman who can protect my physical body. Women can learn how to fight. Women can learn how to use physical devices that will protect them. And just because I'm a woman and I'm in a relationship with another woman does not mean that I can't protect her and she can't protect me. But our protection goes deeper than just the way we physically look. We protect each other mentally and emotionally. We have deep feelings for each other. We care for each other. We love each other. So that can make you feel protected and safe. But yes, by all means, a lot of women are physically in shape. A lot of women can fight. A lot of women are, especially when you are a same-sex attracted woman, you become very aware of your surroundings. Like, I believe that heterosexual women are not as conscious about their surroundings. The reason why is because they rely on men a lot to protect them and defend them. Whereas me as a lesbian or lesbian women, we don't think about a man guarding or protecting us. We pay attention. We're very, very mindful of our surroundings, very conscious of our surroundings. And that makes us to always be prepared and on guard. So I don't have a mindset that a woman can't protect me or that a woman is not able to even protect herself, or I don't view myself or other women as being helpless, in other words. And then just to give you a little bit of insight about lesbians, when we are with women, and you don't have to necessarily be thinking about the hypothetical situation of us in the gym all standing there having this dialogue. I'm just going and explaining another idea or situation. I noticed a lot about heterosexual women. They are attracted to men who are masculine or kind of rough in appearance. Like, heterosexual women are not really caught up in men who are caught up in their looks. That is a huge turnoff to heterosexual women. They don't like men who are always in the mirror, for example, pampering and prepping themselves. And they don't like men who look better than them. Meaning, most heterosexual women, they like to look better physically than their man. So they're not caught up in a man who has a pretty face, in other words. So there are a lot of women who identify as heterosexual, and they don't like what they call, quote, pretty boys. They like men who are more masculine, men who don't mind getting their hands dirty. And usually men are physically stronger than a woman on average. So she may prefer a man who is more muscular, or at least he's maybe stocky in appearance. Every heterosexual woman is different as far as the body type or frame that she likes in a man. But in general, she likes a man who makes her feel safe and protected because of his physical frame, as well as his mindset. And that is a huge reason why women like men who are taller than them. So on the opposite, as a lesbian woman, we like women who look good. We like good looking women. We like pretty women. And we don't mind if our woman looks better than us. Because see, while I'm thinking my woman looks better than me, she thinks that I look better than her. So it's just like it balances out. And so we like very beautiful women. That's how lesbians think. And you may ask, well, what about the lesbians who like butch women or women who are studs? Well, if she is a lesbian, and I'm saying that with emphasis, if she is a lesbian and she is with a woman who identifies as a butch or a stud, which means this woman physically presents herself as more masculine in appearance, the more feminine lesbian woman, she knows that this is still a woman she is with, because women are not men. There is a different energy that a man has from a woman, and men think very differently from women. We're like complete opposites. If a lesbian desired to be with a man, she could be with a man, but she does not want to be with a man, and that's why she's with a woman. Even though she's with a butch or a stud female, she is attracted to her because of her unique appearance. And some women are into the physical style of a woman, like the way she dresses. I believe the majority of women who are butch or stud, they have a very good sense of style. They usually dress very well. They usually like to keep their hair done. They keep themselves because they're women. Even though that they're more masculine presenting, they tend to take care of their bodies and their physical appearance more better than most men, because she's still a woman. But lesbians, usually we are driven by the energy that we detect and sense. So she likes the energy of a butch or a stud woman, because they present a lot of stern energy. Like they make you feel safe. They make you feel balanced. So we have different energies, and we all possess feminine or masculine energies. It's just that some of us have more feminine energy and some of us have more masculine energy. And that doesn't necessarily mean the physical appearance. it's the spirit of a person, it's their energy, it's their vibe. And so it's a balance between the women. And that's why she's with a woman who may be a butch or a stud. And of course, there's other reasons, but if you are a lesbian, feminine woman and you date studs or butches, if you want to comment below and give some information on why you're attracted to butches or stud women, thank you. But just to give you an explanation as a lesbian, for me, I am a feminine presenting woman and I like feminine presenting women. And it's not that I'm not attracted to women who are studs, for example, because I think they're very attractive, but it's more complex than that. I am attracted to feminine presenting women, and I like the way feminine women physically look, and I also like their energy. They could have more dominant or assertive energy than I have, and that creates a balance between us. But I don't look at a woman and say, I don't want her to be too pretty. Like, that's a statement a heterosexual woman would make, but I don't think like that. I want her to be pretty. I want her to look good. I like for her to get her hair done, her facials, her massages, her nails and hands, feet done if she wants. Whatever she wants to do. She likes to work out, take showers, get pampered, and lotions and creams, whatever she wants to do, perfumes. That's her thing, and I'm all for it. I like to see a woman get her hair done or do her hair. I like to see a woman dress and get dressed and enjoy fashion and style. That's interesting to me. That's fun to me. But there's other interests that I have in a woman that I don't have like a heterosexual woman has for a man. For example, a heterosexual woman, she may like for her man to watch football, for example, because in her mind, she thinks if a man doesn't watch sports or if he doesn't play sports, then he's not masculine. Because unfortunately, there are some women who think that way. But for me, as a lesbian, if my female lesbian partner played sports, I would be fine with that. If she did not play sports, I would be fine with that as well. I don't view her as less feminine or more masculine based on the fact that she plays sports or if she does not play sports. I like a woman who loves what she loves to do. She could be a painter. She could love to make with her own hands. I believe it's called a potter. That's the word I'm trying to find. She could be a potter. She could be a filmmaker. I don't really look at a woman and say, oh, well, she needs to do this type of work in order for her to be feminine. I don't look at it like that. And I don't even look at like household chores as, oh, well, this is what you need to do as a woman because you're feminine or you're masculine. I believe as lesbians that we're equals and we can divide and share in household chores based on whoever is better at what they do. Like, for example, I enjoy cooking, but I've dated women who love cooking, and they did the majority of the cooking, like 80% of the time, and I cooked 20% of the time. Just because I look at it like whoever is more gifted or talented in whatever it is, then they lead in that and they take on that role. And that's how we function in our relationship as lesbians. Whereas with a heterosexual woman, she usually wants her man to only do certain type of work, and she usually wants her man to earn more income than her, because she views the man as the leader or the head of the household. And a lot of heterosexual women don't want to work. They want to be at home with the children. They want to be housewives. And the man wants to work and provide financially. In lesbian relationships, I don't believe that the woman I'm with is the leader or the head of the household, because I view us as equals. And I don't get caught up in, oh, my woman needs to make six figures, because if she makes six figures or more, then I feel like she's a woman. I don't have that kind of mindset. I of course want a woman who is willing to work, because before she met me, she needed to take care of herself. So why all of a sudden when we get together in a relationship, she suddenly cannot work anymore? I really think that as a lesbian, I think that women should use their gifts and their talents. I don't think that they should give up what they enjoy doing or what they're naturally gifted at just because now they're in a relationship with someone. I like to see a woman work. I like to see a woman do activities that she enjoys and that she's passionate about, because yes, it'll bring income in the home, but also it makes her happy. And I'm going to be happy if I'm doing the type of work that I want to do and I'm doing activities that I want to do. So as a lesbian, I don't view my lesbian partner as she needs to do certain type of work or chores or duties in order for me to respect her as a woman. I, of course, don't want a woman who's dependent upon me. I, of course, definitely don't want a woman who's lazy, but I just want a woman who is truly in her element. She knows her purpose and she's living in her purpose, because I know who I am. I know what my purpose is, and I'm living in my purpose. And I won't be with the woman who does not value who I am and who is on my team. So when we're in a partnership together, we both are partners. We both support each other. We love each other's purpose and goals in life, and we're moving forward. And I just wanted to say that lesbians, we enjoy being with women because women satisfy us, women please us. And what we do in our relationships are usually very creative ways of living our lives. And if there are lesbians who emulate heterosexual relationships, usually it's because that's what they are accustomed to, that's what they know. But for me personally, I don't get caught up in the way heterosexual people operate in their relationships, because I'm a lesbian woman and I'm going to have a relationship that is conducive to what I need for myself and what is healthy between me and my lesbian partner. And finally, I want to say that lesbians are not lesbians because we've been hurt or because we have not met the right kind of man. We are genuinely and intrinsically lesbians. And that's why lesbians exist and lesbians are lesbians. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Lesbians like the opposite of what heterosexual women like in a partner. Thank you for listening. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. If you would like a life coaching session, please contact me. My contact information is here on YouTube in the description box. Thank you. Have a great day.